So the accurate history of Tai Chi seems to be uncertain, which is in some way puzzling unless we look into the true nature of this form of practice. And it goes back, way back, to a time before China became China, when it was simply a land broken up into regions owned by powerful men or dynasties. How did Tai Chi come about, and how has it endured for centuries? Thank you so much for coming onto our Metaphysical Awakening channel. We invite you to follow along as I share my take on different topics. As I choose a topic to look into, I try to go behind the scenes to see if there's more going on than what we see physically from our eyes or feel from our touch. I look at it from a metaphysical aspect, which means, I'm looking for the underlying energy frequencies and seeing what they're doing and displaying, how they're affecting us emotionally and physically. If you'd like to learn more in terms of what the metaphysical is, feel free to visit our website, which is metaphysicalawakening.com, and I'll leave a link of that below in the description. From there you can get an idea of what I'm referring to. You can also learn a little bit about myself. My name's Aya, and my mom Hitomi. We work together on our website. We also offer consultations on our consultation page. If you'd like to know a bit about the services we offer, feel free to click the video link below in regards to that. And if you're interested in a consultation, you can contact us directly from the consultation page or email us at metaphysicalawakening@gmail.com. We thank you so much for coming onto our channel and checking out our website. We love having you here. Now, as I stated before, the metaphysical aspect of Tai Chi is what I've been looking into. What kind of energy is displayed when one is moving their arms in a certain pattern? What kind of energy is creating heat between their hands or in their body? How and why is that created? Is it true that a man melted snow around him as he's making those movements? All kinds of questions come up when thinking about the spiritual practice of Tai Chi. Hey, Boo Boo, is my my little dog. Calypso, and she's getting herself situated. Back in my university days, I was required to take a credit in liberal arts as a way to fulfill my requirements for a bachelor's degree. So due to the kinds of courses I was taking that term, which required so many hours of my time studying, I decided to take up something I considered easy and didn't require much studying. So Tai Chi came up as an option, which I had known nothing about at the time, except that it was in an old Asian practice, and the course was like 2 days a week, but it was at 8 a.m. in the morning, which was brutal for me. But I registered for it and just, went ahead and started. So I remember going there. It was still a little dark that early in the morning, and I was so tired. No coffee, no breakfast. I went there in comfortable clothes. We were handed a book on the different positions, what they were called, and instructions on how to position our body as we made these movements. It was just a small group of us in the class, and we were all half asleep, basically. I remember the instructor being very kind and having this really soft voice, and she kept the room kind of dark, which made me kind of sleepy, but the idea was for us to, feel relaxed when we're coming into the room and you can hear the soft music playing in the background. Well, I was intrigued on the first day with the stories that she told in regards to the ancient practice, especially with the concept of energy and feeling heat. Then she told us about a man who melted snow around him as he was practicing the movements himself. And I thought, wow, what a story. Is that, really true? As we started, to be honest, I thought it was a little strange. I'd never done these kind of movements before, but as we moved on to the other patterns, I saw the beauty in them. The way you sway your arms in a graceful manner, the importance in the way you position your stance, the way you turn your body when you move to another position. My concentration was on, the physical aspects of it. Positioning for each movement was key. What I didn't realize at the time was what was going on underneath each layer of those movements. So there was an underlying activity going on which had positive benefits to my physical health and well, physical body and health. And I always left the class feeling refreshed and energized and invigorated and with a sharper mind, and always, feeling lighter and happier. And I, remember I'd go in half asleep. So even at that time, I noticed the change in myself by the end of class. I was very much consciously aware of that. I remember, taking moments after each class, like, wow, I feel good. I feel, like I have this pep in my step. So, but I also, picked up subtle sensations in class, such as heat building up between my two palms once in a while. I felt the subtle flow of energy as I was doing a couple of the movements. I noticed something. I just didn't know what or how to think of it. I barely remember a lot of the things the instructor discussed, but I do remember she mentioned the chi, or the life force, and how the practice helps balance the chi or recharge it, something along that line. Now, it's been years since I had done Tai Chi, and I look back at it from time to time, especially now that I'm into the metaphysical aspect of many different things. Every morning I walk with my two little dogs to the park and spend some time there. About 2 or 3 days a week, there was a Tai Chi instructor who leads a group of elderly ladies in a Tai Chi class, and I've been watching them for the past couple of years and seeing how their interest has grown. She started off with a couple of ladies, and I've seen up to 10 or more with her on some days. It seems like, a really nice social activity among friends that's very calming and beneficial, mentally, physically, and spiritually, I believe. And now when I mention spiritually, this ties into the metaphysical aspect of it, because remember, the term metaphysical refers to what's beyond the physical. So many of the things that I see or experience metaphysically ties into the spiritual realm of things. We are energy, right? So how is it beneficial to us in each of those aspects, mentally, physically, and spiritually? Well, let's have a look. When I was taking the time to fill into the ladies at the park practicing Tai Chi, I saw that their energy started expanding. What was tight and more compacted started loosening up and expanding. Therefore, this had an impact on their muscles and joints in a way that their muscles started to relax and go into their proper position. And the joints seemed to loosen up and create a more fluid movement, turning this way and that. It's as if their brain received some form of signal saying that it was okay for the body to relax. I also felt that the right amount of fluid went to the joints where needed, and there's more flexibility there, less pain. It seems to be good for those dealing with arthritis, I believe. The brain signal is all that is needed to take care of those problem areas. So what's initiating those brain signals? I feel that our energy has a lot to do with it. The brain works as a machine, doing all the proper things that it needs to do in order to keep our body alive. However, there are inconsistencies due to the hardwiring of the brain. Sometimes there are brain malfunctions for whatever reasons, like hormone imbalance or some form of defect. But for a normal working brain, we receive signals from many different places. Just by looking at something can trigger a signal to your brain, which causes you to react to situations. In this case, when it comes to Tai Chi, it seems that our energy sends a signal to the brain to tell the body to relax and start a proper engagement in the activity, because it feels like ourselves, as spirit, as energy beings, automatically tells our brain that this is good for us, which it seems to be in so many ways. So when the brain receives reassurance that this is good for us, it tells the body to relax the muscles, alleviate the joints, and as we start the movements, there is a sense of relief in the body. The body flows with such precision and fluidity. The technique is based on body movements, and for some also intention. Now, what goes on which coincides with the movement is interesting to watch. If you ever get a chance to watch and feel into it, I recommend it. What I see is that the energy, like I said, before starts to expand and make shape or create form, As it expands, the body relaxes and then muscles become less and less constricted. The energy is working on the body, and in turn the movements are working on your energy. The more you make those movements, the less the body is constricted and the more your energy flows in a smooth and very calming way. The movements are quite graceful, but the energy flows with such a force that it allows the body to feel heat. The technique encourages our energy to flow and expand, and our energy in turn encourages our body to flow also. It's beneficial for our blood circulation, which is another reason some people will feel heat generating throughout or different parts of their body from the increased blood flow. A healthy blood flow throughout our body, including our brain, is very important because that reduces all kinds of health risks, and we feel more invigorated, energetic, our mind is sharper and more focused. We essentially feel more alive with the healthy blood flow. It's a sign that our body is well oxygenated and nutrients are carried throughout the body where they need to go at the speed they need to go. So it's very vital. Another thing I'm seeing is that the mind seems to be lighting up energetically. And this is interesting in the sense that I know that they're not intentionally opening up to receive information as we may do so when we sit down and meditate or relax. Remember, the crown is for receiving input when we look into or feel into things. So perhaps you want to understand more about who you truly are, and you take the time to quietly sit down and receive information as you're, flowing within. The crown opens up and you can see energy lit up there, and it's as if there's, passing of information. Well, in this case, it's different because the individuals practicing Tai Chi are usually focused on the movements, right? So I asked myself, why do the crowns open up then? Well, I believe it's because of the help or assistance they're receiving from their spirit guides or family members who are in spirit form on the other side. Because what I notice is that there are spirits around them. Of course, that's no surprise, right? We always have spirits around us looking out for us and so on. In this case, they seem to be encouraging the individuals practicing Tai Chi to stay in that state of mental peace and let the distractions fall away. They seem to be assisting them in that way, and I'm sure there's more going on depending on the individual. Now, let's get into the more metaphysical aspect of their energy. So each of us is comprised of many sets of frequencies that are orchestrated in many different auric expressions, movements, symbols, and so on. Now, if I take a look at a group of individuals who are following the technique by making those slow, graceful movements, I see that their energy moves in a similar fashion. Their energy moves calmly, gracefully, and with strength. But at the same time, there's a feeling of relief behind those frequencies. Also invigoration, peace, calmness, healing for some, energized for others, focus, creativity. It really depends on the person and what they're made up of and what is needed at the time. It's quite interesting because it's like watching each person basically working on themselves. It can be self-healing, really. So, do I recommend it? Definitely. Why not? It appears to be nothing but beneficial to me. Actually, my mom, he told me, has just recently started practicing it, and she does it before she starts working in the morning, and she immediately feels the benefits from it. If any of you happen to practice Tai Chi, I'd be interested to know how you feel about it in the comments below. For those who have decided to, start it recently, let us know if you notice any changes in your physical body, your mental health, or energy-wise after practicing it. What I gathered from it is, so far has been impressive to me personally. Basically no wonder why, it's still around and still respected. And what's interesting to me is that the history of this practice seems to be uncertain. It's not very concrete. There are materials on those who practiced it and taught it that date back centuries, but they are also many resources that had been suppressed in China. So of course, out of curiosity, I was just just as usual, feeling into this practice and why it may be a threat to those who wish to suppress it. And it feels as if this type of practice is very much linked to the idea of self-awareness. You are put in a state of mind where you are in the present as you're practicing it. And I feel that such practice of self-awareness can be a threat to a regime that seeks complete control over their population. Falun Gong, I believe it's pronounced, has also been under threat and is suppressed from the people. It's tragic, really, because it's a practice that promotes well-being and peace among the people, and what's being done to them is terrible and very saddening. The last thing we need in the world is the eradication of individuals who work on their integrity and many other virtues. They simply want to be wonderful human beings, and I hope that one day we'll see these people liberated and no longer tortured for their beliefs. What's wonderful about these and many other spiritual practices around the world is their true intention in bringing about balance and peace into a person's life, and on top of that provide wonderful health benefits. You can't deny that. Well, I hope you enjoyed the information I've shared today on what I've gathered from feeling into the practice of Tai Chi. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're interested in these kinds of things. I enjoy taking the time to investigate metaphysically and sharing, this kind of information with you all. So I'm very thankful for your support and kind words, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day and be happy and be kind to yourself and others. Please enjoy your day and do something that makes you smile. So thank you so much. Bye.